Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another spontaneous Teacup for One Moonlight Madness live show. I can't say Midnight Madness because we started things a little bit earlier today. The last 2 days, if you've been with us, we've been starting at midnight, but after work tomorrow. So here we are. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees. And welcome to Teacup for One. Now, over the past 2 nights, as I alluded to and as I mentioned, we have been coming together here live on the channel to do a live recap of all the breaking news that we got at D23, the massive Disney Expo that comes but once every 2 years. In this case, every 3 years. And it's this epic Disney fan event where Disney parks, Disney films, all the associated Disney studios come together and they make most of their major announcements for the projects that are going to be rolling out over the course of the next 1 to 2 years. So pretty well everything between now and the next D23 Expo. So we had a ton of film-related announcements that came to us on Friday. Yesterday, we had a ton of announcements that were related to Marvel, Star Wars, etc., etc. But they always save the park announcements for the last day because I think secretly and not so secretly, everybody going to D23, they're parks fans. I don't want to say first and foremost, but a lot of them first and foremost. Yeah, we got a ton of Disney parks related news and announcements today. So we are coming together to discuss them, specifically to discuss the 10 that I found to be the most interesting, the most discussion worthy. So we're not going to do a full breakdown of everything that was announced today, because if you want that, you can watch the panel, you can watch the expo, it's on there somewhere. But no, today we're just coming together to share our thoughts and to see what people think about all the stuff that we can look forward to, ? Over the next couple of years. Let's see who we have joining us for this evening. We have my cat, Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. Many meows to you. My other cat, Eliza. Eliza, you prefer 11 to midnight. Eliza, you stay up till 3 a.m. running around like a little feline maniac. You know it's true. Martha's here, my mother. Fantastic. And those are 3 of what looks like 4 viewers. So I don't know who the 4th one is. Thank you for watching. There we go. Also, before we get things going, I would like to let everyone know that in honor of D23, this wonderful shirt that I am wearing, Walt Would Be Rolling in His Grave, is now available for 25% off at my Etsy store for this week and this week only. So if you want to grab one of these wonderful shirts that says Walt Would Be Rolling in His Grave, now you can for 25% off. There's a link there. Click it if you want one, or don't, whatever. I don't care. Here we go. I do actually care. Please help me build my Etsy rating. It's a new store. So there we go. All right. As per usual, we have a special guest that is going to be joining me for this evening. And this special guest is extra special because the last 2 nights, I've had guests who have known nothing about the stuff that was being announced. So that was kind of cool because it was I got to be the one to give them the news and get their first reactions. But today, we have somebody who is just on top of this news as me, somebody who is just as passionate, if not more passionate, about these announcements than me. It's Morgan from Teaching Disney. Hello, Morgan. Welcome. Good evening. Thank you for staying up for us.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's definitely a challenge today.
Yes. Like I said, at least it's not the midnight show.
I know. At least it's not midnight. That's all I can say.
Right. Absolutely. So, Morgan, welcome. Just give us a quick briefing. Tell us about you. Tell us about Morgan and your channel.
Okay. So I'm Morgan. I'm Teaching Disney. I do all things teaching and Disney related content wise. So this is right up my alley. I have Pin Wednesday where mostly every Wednesday I post a new pin unboxing. I haven't been buying pins, trying to conserve my money lately to do some special things. But so there hasn't been many of those, but there is many things coming, many cool ideas I have coming. I'm so excited for all of them. So yeah.
Thrilling. Well, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to discuss all of these announcements with you here today. Now, remind me, you were going in and out of the live stream because you were bird watching this afternoon, yes?
Yes, definitely. That's definitely what I was doing.
Fantastic.
But I did. So I missed the whole park live stream originally, because my wonderful Eagles I got my Eagles swag on. The American viewers, today was the first football Sunday of the 2022-2023 NFL season.
Go sports.
Go football. Yep. And so we beat the Lions just barely, but we beat them, and that's all that matters to me. Beat one of the worst teams in the league by 4 points.
What city or country are the Lions, and what city or country are the Eagles?
So cities, they're all cities.
Okay.
So the Eagles are Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then
nice.
The Lions are Detroit.
Ew.
I think it's It's Chicago, Michigan. I don't know. Illinois.
Ew.
I don't know where Detroit is.
Oh, Detroit's next to Windsor.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what state it is what I meant.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, neither do I, so we're in good company. I feel like
it's Michigan. I feel like Detroit, Michigan goes well.
Actually, yes, it is.
Okay, so it's Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, hooray. So does this mean that there are no Lions for the rest of football for the rest of this season?
No. So that's playoffs. That's like in February, January time. Right now it's just games. So like even though they lost, they'll play another game next week, and the Eagles will play another game next week. And it like your score culminates over the next few months. And then whoever has in their division, so each like division has 4 teams in it. So for me, we're against the Giants, which is New York, the Cowboys, which is Dallas, Texas, and then what's the third? Maybe we are against the Jets. No, we're definitely not. No, it's the Washington Commanders is who we are also against. So out of those 4 teams, whoever has the highest score goes to the playoffs, and then there's like 2 wild card spots for like those 2 teams out of the whole division that can't make it. So
is there a team called the Sharks?
There is not.
Damn it. Just imagine watching the Jets against the Sharks. That's the one thing that would get me into football.
The Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins are just like less aggressive Sharks. I don't know.
And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Are they pirates?
Yeah, they are.
Do they dress like pirates?
No.
Okay, I've lost interest again.
I mean, their mascot dresses like a pirate, but
okay.
And they have a pirate ship right next to the stadium.
Fun. Go football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sports. Woo. All right. Well, excited for you and football season. Enjoy that. And
thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go. And yes, let's dive into these announcements from today. So I'm going to bring up my slideshow because I have a slideshow again. Now, something I found very entertaining whilst I was watching this live stream was that between the audience members that were there and the stuff I was seeing surface online, it was more so like people were hearing the news that they wanted to hear and weren't paying attention to what was actually being said, which I found very entertaining. So we're going to start with the first announcement that embodies that, which is Happily Ever After, which is air quotes returning. The funniest thing, like I know you said you couldn't watch the live stream, but
so I went back and I watched some of it, but like they cut bits and pieces out.
Okay.
Like sometimes like there would be like a jump to the next segment. So like rather than having that waiting time like most people had during the live stream, it would just like jump. So I would miss bits and pieces. And then I was also driving while I was watching it, while I was like listening to it. So
it's like you were watching while driving, Morgan.
No, listening.
Okay, good. But no, what I found so entertaining about this announcement was the whole show opened with Jordan Fisher singing Happily Ever After, which was a big deal to people who aren't me. And then Josh came on stage and he said, I know you all love that song. And then the crowd started going nuts. And he was like, let me tell you that Happily Ever After is coming back. And then everyone just went nuts. And that was all they wanted to hear. But then he continued to say, as part of a brand new nighttime spectacular. It was like, everyone, you're not paying attention to the actual news. So the actual news is that there's a new show. Back. Yes, the song is coming back, but it's a new show. Maybe everyone will hate it even more than the one that we have now. I say we like I've seen it, but maybe people will hate it more than what is the show now? It's like one man's dream.
And I actually like it. So
see, I feel like I would like it. I haven't even watched the live streams of it, but like I'm kind of
If you're
sad
not
that's
going to
going
make
away.
it to the celebration, I
Mhm.
highly suggest you watch the live streams, or, I'll just go live one day and you can watch it with
Yeah.
me on my phone.
Please do. Please go live from Main Street because that's the main thing. I'm excited that they integrated all the projection mapping
Oh, the
onto the
Main
Main
Street
Street buildings.
is crud.
Is it really?
It's total garbage.
Oh
Looks
no.
nothing like the Disneyland Main Street does because they don't dim the lights enough on
Oh.
Main Street. So you still see all the shop lights. So it like you can barely see the projections the main
Eek.
projections that you want to see are on the castle.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So how did you feel about this news? Like, are you excited to be getting the song back in whatever this new entertainment spectacular may or may not be?
So no. So
Okay.
I only thought until you said that because I've heard both and I wasn't sure which. And when I was listening to it, everyone like screamed. So it was hard to hear like what he said. So I didn't hear that second part. I just heard that it was returning and I was like, all right, great, whatever. Because I actually I'm not a big fan of Happily Ever After, to be honest.
Okay.
I love Enchantment a lot more because I feel like Happily Ever After was like, it's great, it's nice, but it only shows like popular like things. I feel like it shows a lot of princesses. It kind of shows some other things, but not really, and it only shows like the stuff that's popular. Whereas Enchantment shows a little bit of everything, and especially highlights those characters and those movies that do not get enough love. Like Onward is a big piece in Enchantment, which is I loved Onward. So I was really happy about it. Big Hero 6 is in it. I forgot Zootopia's in it. Monsters Inc. is in it. So, if they have Monsters Inc. in it, I'm going to love it. So
Fair. Like, I remember just thinking Happily Ever After was fine. I can't remember what show came before Happily Ever After. Wishes. I remember loving Wishes. And I just found it so entertaining because I remember when Happily Ever After was introduced, all these same people who now claim to love it hated it with a violent passion because it wasn't Wishes. And just like, Disney fans will never be satisfied.
No. And I feel like this is them just caving into the Disney fans, which is like, I'm like, okay, like you do kind of have to keep them happy. But honestly, I feel like people are growing to love Enchantment just as much as Happily Ever After. So I feel like it's only like they're listening to those very few voices out of the many, in my opinion.
No, for sure. Have you seen it since they've added the Walt and the Roy element?
I haven't, and I'm super excited, and that especially is why I'm so excited about Enchantment, because I feel like that is what I wanted it to be. And there's a new show actually, which I don't think many people know, at Hollywood Studios. There's a new nighttime show, and I've seen that one, and it is what I think the 50th anniversary Castle show should have been 100%.
Is it animation based? Is it the animation one?
Yeah, it's animation, but it's also film based. So they go over all of it's basically how Walt Disney Studios has progressed over the years. So they have animation in the beginning, and then it goes into live action as well, and it kind of just goes through a little bit of everything, and you have Walt's voice go over it, and at the end he says let's not forget that it all started with a mouse, and it just makes me it makes me cry every time.
I love that.
But they have huge TV screens for it, which is why it couldn't be the Castle show, because you needed, because they show you clips from the movies.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I'm interested to see what the reception will be to new Happily Ever After. And I think everyone's going to be upset when it's a different show that just reuses the song, and they'll claim, oh, they didn't tell us this, they misled us. No, Disney didn't mislead you. You heard what you wanted to hear. It's always the issue with you Disney fans. And I'm pointing to them and pointing to me with the other three fingers, because we're all these people. So that's the first announcement that happened. Exciting, kind of, sure. The next big reveal that they had, and we had a couple of these types of reveals, but we're going to go through them one by one, so no spoilers, one at a time. A brand new costume character meet and greetable interaction that is going to be coming to the parks. It's Mando. with little Grogu. Look at him. Look at him.
And
Oh,
Grogu talks.
he
Grogu
does.
talks.
He's so cute. And when he came out on stage, like Grogu was covered by the cape. And I was just thinking, have Grogu. Please have Grogu. And I don't know, maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. It didn't click for me right away that this was going to be a meetable character. I just thought Mando was there to like talk about Star Wars land for one reason or another. But then when they announced that we could meet them in like 2 months, again, it's not going to be me anytime soon. Oh, is he not coming to World? Is it just land?
From what I have read from my like 10-minute research, it is only Disneyland.
That sounds familiar. I think it might just be Disneyland. I'm sure there's no way that they can deprive Florida of Grogu.
So I got into like a huge like disagreement about how Disneyland, not disagreement because my friends that I was talking to were agreeing with me, but how Disneyland gets all the best characters and Walt Disney World gets absolutely no love. And especially from this announcement, as you guys will see, Walt Disney World gets jack squat of love. Like nothing. And so I was really disappointed when they announced this one because I was like, this is a character that we could easily have in Walt Disney World. Why do we not have him? And my friend gave me the answer. It is because we have Star Wars, the stupid Galaxy Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
And the events on that are after Mando. So we cannot have any new cool characters because the events of the Star Cruiser take place after all of these events.
Oh my gosh. I hate and love that at the same time.
But the amount of people that go on the Star Cruiser that go to Disney World is like 2% of people.
They want to see Mando too. They don't care about continuity.
Yeah, no one cares.
Nobody cares. Oh, and also, well, no, I can't justify why Mando would still be kicking around at the timeline of the Star Cruiser. I was going to say Grogu wouldn't get any older, but Mando's probably dead by then. So
yeah, probably. I think it's like 3,000 years after the events.
No, it's not 3,000.
The last Star Wars movie.
Is that when Galactic Star Cruiser takes place? No.
It is after the last Star Wars movie, which this is between the OG trilogy.
Yeah, this is before Force Awakens.
Trilogy.
Yeah. Wait, but no, Star Cruiser can't be after the last movie because Kylo Ren is still around and he died. Spoilers in Rise of Skywalker. So I think Galaxy's Edge / Sky Cruiser is between episodes 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. I think. I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Look it up. We need to know.
When does
Star Cruiser take place? And I did hear rumors earlier, probably unconfirmed, that they were going to start kind of breaking continuity in both Galaxy's Edges and both Batu's to allow characters outside of the specific timeline to roam around and meet characters. So I do think that this is the first step towards that. Oh yeah, for sure.
I would love to see an R2D2 and a C3PO. Like, why does it matter?
Well, actually, those two do exist when, like, they could continuity wise exist during this time. But like, I want Princess Leia. Like, give me Leia. Give me Han Solo. Well, I don't care about Luke, but still, in theory, give all those people to me. Give me a Yoda puppet. Give me a Force Ghost show. Actually, I guess they have that, but on the Star Cruiser. I'll never be able to afford that. So there it is. I think
you also get some sort of that when you build a lightsaber. I'm not too sure.
Oh, I think you hear Yoda's voice. Yeah. I don't know if you see Yoda though. Again, I wouldn't know. I'm not about to spend $200 on a glowing stick. So I said what I said. I'm going to build 2 droids. I'm going to spend $200 in Galaxy's Edge. So there we are. So yeah, Mando coming in November just to Disneyland, but still, I'm happy that it exists because it means some people will get to meet adorable little Grogu. Yoda for Mark is here. Yes, loving the Yoda puppets.
It takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Wait, Galaxy's Edge does? 30 years after Return of the Jedi?
No, the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh, Galactic Star Cruiser. Okay. That to me feels like it should still line up with Mandalorian. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Neither of us are big enough Star Wars fans to know.
I could have explained Andor to you last night because I was super
really?
hyped for that. I watched your live stream and I was like, they don't know about Andor? What is wrong with
I mean,
them?
I know that it exists. I just don't care enough about it. As I said, it's like
I think you would like Rogue
we know
One
they're gonna
though,
die.
Andor,
We
because
know
that's
he's gonna
all-
die.
That was all. Well, yeah, but Rogue One, at least from what I was told when I first watched it, was based on fan fiction.
Oh,
Like
okay.
fans wrote that, and then
That's
they
interesting.
developed it into a movie, and that's why it was called a Star Wars story, because Lucas didn't want to take credit for it if it flopped.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, we have a new friend. Hello, Ola from Spain. Last week's my birthday. Do you speak Spanish, Italian, German, and French? I speak none of those languages, sadly. I wish I did. N'est-ce pas? Je
Feliz
n'ai-
cumpleaños.
Oh, there we go. I was going to try to piece together some grade 9 French because that's the last time I spoke that language, but I think you brought in the Spanish more than I can bring in the French. So, hooray. Okay, so yeah. How do we feel about this announcement overall? I'm quite excited for it, even if it is not coming to the park that's closer to me geographically.
Yeah, I think eventually it might come to us. That's at least what I'm hoping for. Because I mean, like, we have better conditions. Like, he could just sit in like where the rest of them sit and like be in air conditioning all day. But I am super excited for this. The most concerned I am is about the Grogu, because like if the Grogu breaks, is he just like gonna cover him with his cape? So that
I'm sure they're gonna have like a B Grogu, like one that's not automated, and they'll just say he's sleeping, would be my guess.
Yeah.
My hope.
I'm super excited. I love this. I love this announcement.
Me too. So excited. I think it might be my favorite character announcement. Not even might be. It is my favorite character announcement that we got today. And not just because I love this specific character, but if it does open the door to having more characters outside the continuity of Batu introduced, then I'm all for that. So,
well, it is my second favorite character that was announced.
Oh, yes. We'll get there. Okay. Next big announcement. Harmonious is going away. Already.
This literally makes me want to cry. This is my favorite show ever.
Can you believe? Oh, and what perfect timing. It's like they knew Kids the Productions. Are they going to remove or keep the barges for D23? Like, this is they're there. I don't think those barges can go anywhere.
I have no idea. So I wonder if they're just going to make a new show using them.
They have
but
to.
I feel like they were created specifically for this show. Like, I don't know what else you could do with them.
This to me, out of all the announcements today, this feels the most to me like Disney caving into the internet complaining relentlessly.
Yeah, which honestly, people I've talked to love this show. Like every person I have talked to that has seen the show in person loves it. And so I love it. It's my favorite show. I think it has the best music. I listen to the music like every day in my car. Nice. And I think it is so innovative. And again, it gives a presence to those, like, it kind of encompasses what Epcot's all about, because I know you haven't seen it, but basically it has like all of our classic movies. Like it has Mulan, it has Jungle Book, which Jungle Book you never see. It has The Lion King, it has Princess and the Frog, it has Sleeping Beauty, but the difference is all the songs are in their native language.
Yeah, like it just strikes me that they put so much effort and so much time into creating this show, like just to go to the lengths of recording all the songs in the differing languages. And there was so much buildup for this show at previous D23s that for it to exist for less than a year, it even shocks me that.
Well, I think it's going to be more than a year. I think because they said that even though Happily Ever After, that one is going to start in March when the 50th ends. Yeah. This one, I believe they said, was going to go away in later 2023.
Okay. Still, though, that's so short compared to still, like Illuminations was there almost as long as the whole flippin' park.
Yeah.
like decades. I don't know how long exactly Illuminations was there, but it really felt to me like they were gearing up for Harmonious to be there for the long haul, especially
Yeah.
installing these water things. So,
Which
and
makes
I've,
me wonder if they're going to get rid of them, because like
mhm,
the biggest complaint about them is that yes, they're beautiful at night, but during
yeah,
the day they're the biggest eyesore, which I do
right.
agree with. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not going to lie, they are kind of annoying, but especially when you're trying to get that like Japan
Oh,
uh
right.
mission
Spaceship Earth. Yeah,
spaceship Earth picture,
right.
like that is a little bit annoying.
Mhm.
However, like it's not that bad. Like you could angle it and you could get it so it's just right, and then it just
Yeah.
looks like there's a nice little circle around it. Like, I don't know.
So did they get rid of the plan to just have them be beautiful fountains during the day? Are they just there, not
They're just there,
being
they're not
fountains?
fountains.
We were promised that they would be fountains. So
Maybe that's the issue, because they're not fountains.
that could be it.
So
Because
literally the side barges that you see, like that
yeah.
side one that's like over here,
Yeah, the half
um,
circles. Yeah.
yeah, the half circles, they project a screen that just says the 50th. It's blue and it just says Disney World 50th anniversary.
Hmm.
And it's just like a digital screen. That's it. And then the circle is just a circle and it just doesn't do anything.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to them getting rid of them since I have no connection to the show and I haven't seen if they're worth it in my opinion.
Oh, they're
But
so worth it. They're
yeah.
so worth it. It's so beautiful, Matt. Because like so that center like has projection of water. Like it projects images through the water, and
Mhm.
then it also does it above it too, like a different image. And then on the side things, there's images too.
Okay. Hmm. I think I would need to see it. And the reason I haven't
You
even watched the
definitely do.
videos is because I can tell that it's something that you need to
Oh, the
see in
videos
person.
suck.
Oh,
They
for
are
sure.
terrible.
No, and I think the
Terrible.
other issue with this is that it, unlike Illuminations, which was specifically designed to be like an in the round theatrical experience, this you get a very different viewing experience from what I can suss out based on where you are in
Yeah.
proximity to the park. Like you need to have the proper sight lines to be able to appreciate that. So I
Yeah.
don't.
Like if you can't view it from like from like Mexico to all the way up to, I think it's like Kenya, Africa area.
Yeah.
Like you can't view it there. Otherwise, it's nowhere near as good as if you view it from directly in the front or directly in the back.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't love that. I liked with the other show that you could enjoy it from anywhere around the lagoon. So
Yeah.
if the new show incorporates a bit of that, I'd be happy. But I'm just so curious to see what happens with these barges. And I'm also interested just to see what the new show will be because the announcement, there were next to no details about it. And it was more so, I felt like the announcement was playing more like we're getting rid of Harmonious. Stay tuned for
Yeah.
what's coming up, as opposed to hyping us up for whatever the new better show is. So that tells me
Yeah.
that their priority was just for one reason or another getting rid of Harmonious, which is such a
Yep.
bold move, much like Kite Tails, actually, where these things that were just such a big deal 2 years ago that were like the high points of the 2019 D23. Now they're just like, our announcement for this year is we're throwing them out. We're
Yeah.
sorry. We made a mistake.
It's
There
like
it
they're
is.
just caving into whatever Disney people want.
Oh,
Like
for
they
sure.
just like, oh, you hate this, so don't worry, we're not going to tell you what we're replacing it with. We're just going to let
Just
you
know
know
it's
we're getting
going
rid of
away.
it. Like it's going away. Don't worry.
Gosh, even at the beginning, Josh Tomorrow kind of alluded to that, where he said something like, we're listening to what all of you have to say. We know that some of you don't like change, and trust me, we want to give you the best park experiences that we can. And I thought he was gonna lead into saying they were gonna fix Genie Plus, but he did not. So
I
there it
know.
is.
I was really hoping for that, or maybe fix the Yeti. If they announced
Oh,
that they were going to fix the
the
Yeti,
Yeti's
I would be
never
so
gonna be fixed.
happy.
The Yeti will never be fixed in our lifetime or anyone's lifetime. No. And I've made peace with that. But oh yeah, and D23, or sorry, Genie Plus was the other big announcement at 2019's D23. Basically everything they announced in 2019 either got canceled or was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Or has still yet to be finished.
Oh yeah. Wait, like, oh, you mean like Epcot? All of Epcot?
Like all
Basically.
of Epcot.
Yeah, all of
like
Epcot.
like Tron, the biggest thing that
Oh yeah,
they were
Tron.
supposed to bring.
I didn't even include the Tron announcement in this little presentation that I'm doing because it was barely an announcement.
It
It
was
was
not
just,
an
it's
announcement.
opening next
It
year.
was like we expected to get opening dates for all these things, and we got no opening dates.
Yeah.
We got Epcot will be finished finally in the late 2023, 2024? I don't know.
2023, yeah.
Why is it still taking this long? It's pavement and water fountains. Like, come on, people.
Yep, and same with Tron, spring 2023. Josh, that's not a date.
That's not a date.
And Josh, you were riding it, Josh. Once you get to ride it, we know that it's rider friendly.
Yeah.
So
that tells me, and you know what, and I'm surprised they also didn't say anything about the Walt Disney World Railroad that has been closed for almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
I have never even ridden on the railroad.
No, it's been longer than 4 years. It closed 2017, so like almost 6 years. Yeah. I was there the week that it closed. It was my first trip as an adult. I went like shortly before my 30th birthday. This is how I know it's been that long, because now I'm 35 and I went when I was 29. And yeah, on my first Magic Kingdom day, the railroad was running. I was like, oh, I have to ride the train. That just didn't happen. So I thought, okay, when I come back to Magic Kingdom in 2 days, I have to ride the train. And then 2 days later, it was like closed. And I was like, oh no, why? And then it was for frickin' Tron. So bring back the train. Okay, so yeah, Harmonious, gone. Good riddance, who knows? There we go. Next, whatever my list. Oh yes, okay. So Disneyland Avengers Campus is getting a multiverse expansion, which I thought was kind of fun news. They didn't explain much about it. They gave us this cool piece of concept art explaining that they're giving us a ride with King Thanos, who seems to be a big deal. The pitch being, this is a ride that brings together characters from every single multiverse to fight against the version of Thanos that won in his quest to eliminate half of human life. It's interesting to me that this version of Thanos is like power hungry, but the Thanos that we saw who did win was just a farmer.
Yeah.
He wasn't a king, but whatever. I don't know. I'm curious about this expansion because I don't know what a multiverse expansion necessarily means. Like physically, what will it be? I think it opens up the possibility to have a ton of variants of different characters, and it gets rid of that issue that we have in Galaxy's Edge where they have to work within the framework of a continuity and a timeline. So it just throws that away and gives them permission to give us every version of any Marvel character ever. And I think that's great. But what would the physical space be? That is my question.
So I have a feeling this is going to be similar ride structure to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Like that's what I'm kind of getting from it. It also might be like kind of like Ellen's energy ride. I feel like maybe based on the bottom part where you see like the people in the ride, it looks very much like that, or maybe like a T-Rex kind of setup. I don't know. But I think it's going to be an evolving ride. So I think like when you ride it once, like if you ride it in like 2024 per se, even though it's probably not even going to be built by then, but if you ride it in 2024, you're going to get like a certain host of characters, right? Like going against Thanos with it. And then if you ride it again in like 2028, it'll be a whole different set of characters that are now coming into the universe. And I wonder if it's going to be like a different character every time you ride, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy with the different songs. I wonder if you get different characters depending on like which ride you go on.
That would be cool. That would be really cool, especially if they had multiple different versions of the ride, just even within like running simultaneously. Like you said, like with Cosmic Rewind.
I think if they did it on one ride where you had all the different variants and everything, I think that'd be way too much. I think that'd be sensory overload to the max.
Oh, well, even this image is sensory overload.
Well, yeah, because you got Moon Knight in the back. You got like the 3 different Spider-Mans. You got, I think that's Daredevil back there.
And notice hold on. I just discovered I have this really cool feature. Laser pointer. Ooh. Notice right here, we have Werewolf by Night, who we just found out about like a day ago. And now he's already in the concept art. Yeah, give us the werewolf. I love it.
And Strange all the way in the corner, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, no one cares about
that lower corner. And then they have the Captain America, but then they also have Agent Carter as Captain America back there.
Oh, and then they have all 3 caps.
Yeah, alone, and then American Chavez is in the middle of that.
Well, where is she?
She's right under Sam's.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have
wow.
Winter Soldier here though. That does annoy me slightly.
Maybe he'll be evil by then because he's in Thunderbolts, and I think
I didn't like that. I didn't like that announcement.
That he's in Thunderbolts.
Well, I didn't like that they're gonna be like the like they're gonna be evil because I don't think Yelena's a bad guy. I don't think
any of them are bad people.
I especially don't think Taskmaster is a bad guy, like or girl. Like I don't think she is. I think she was being controlled and like so I don't know. I don't like that.
Well, I've like just based on the assembly and the lineup of people that they have, I think they're going more the anti-hero route as opposed to the full villain route. Because again, I did like all of 5 minutes of research into what Thunderbolts is, but there are so many different versions and variations of how evil the group actually is. So I think
the original group is put on by Zemo. And so that kind of tells you how evil they can be.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then it encompasses none of those people that are actually on the Thunderbolts for Marvel. So.
No, and also I think that Marvel overall is a very hopeful franchise comparative to DC. Like when you look at DC with Suicide Squad, it makes sense for them to have people that and villains that are legit villains because it's their franchise is a mess, but still overall DC is a lot darker. And I think the thing with Marvel is their stories focus a lot more on hope / redemption and everything. So I do think the anti-hero route is a fun way to kind of re-explore the Avengers framework, but then just to spin it and give it a little bit more edge with those characters that are existing a bit more in a gray zone that aren't as pure of heart as like boring Steve Rogers and company. So
hot take. I think the Thunderbolts are going to go against the young Avengers.
Oh, I would love that. That would be so good.
Thunderbolt sets them up and then...
Ooh. Yeah. Well, we have to wait till like spring 2024 to find out.
I know. I'm just saying.
All right. So keeping with this, let me check my list. Okay. I have a little video presentation next. So this is, at least I think I have a video presentation next. Yes, I do. Okay. So next we're going to watch a 12-second short that debuted just about a year ago from Walt Disney Imagineering that gave us some insight into brand new costuming developments that they were making to bring heightened character experiences to us in the parks. We're going to watch the short first, and then we'll see what they did with it. Okay, here we go. And just like yesterday, we kind of have to talk through it so I don't get a copyright strike. Here
Hey, my name's Jonathan.
Hey, look, it's Jonathan. Look, it's that guy. Look at that hand going. Oh, wow. Giant puppet. I love a giant puppet.
Giant characters.
Whoa.
Super performative.
Look at the furry feet. Oh, my. Yeah, really short. So there we go. So a lot of people went nuts when this video debuted, and there was so much speculation as to the possibilities. Yeah, and even like rewatching this video now, I know a lot of people said, is it going to be the Yeti from Monsters Inc? I think mostly because of what that guy was wearing on his feet. There were people speculating Sully, Thanos, the Hulk. Who were you personally hoping that this could be?
I think you kind of know. Like
Sully?
I was really
Hey, my name's Jonathan.
Hi,
I was really hoping for Sully, although Sully is already in the parks and he does have a rather large costume, but it does seem like they have more control, like the person wearing the costume has more control over this version than the version Sully currently has. For example, I was just at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party a few weeks ago, and I went to the Monsters Inc. like dance party, and Sully was there, and he started to get overheated in the suit, so he like was leaving, but he couldn't see where he was going. So he literally ran into me, and I was
that's the dream.
I was like, oh my God. Like, and it was actually kind of scary because I was like, you're falling on me. Like, I don't want to like die here. Cause he is very bigger than me.
Morgan, if you had to die, there are worse ways than being smothered in a hug by Sully.
I know, but then he went to step around me and a child ran in front of him and he couldn't see him because the kid was like 3.
No.
So he almost stepped on the kid and I saved this kid's life. Like, I'm not going to lie. I picked this kid up and physically moved him.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, and the parent was like, thank you so much, and I was like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. It was an instinct reaction.
I almost feel like this costume would present just as many mobility issues and sightline issues
Yeah,
as current Sully, but the only difference is that the hand could be animated while it's crushing you to death.
yeah,
But yeah, but we today saw what it is going to be. And
we did.
let's discuss that. Here it is. Hold on. It's the Hulk.
Bruce
Like
Banner himself.
yeah, there he is. Look at that.
It's
Look at that.
disappointing.
Yep. And did you watch this part or listen to this part of the presentation? Like,
I
did you see it in
I
action?
did.
It was so awkward.
He busted the wall down and
Like that was cool, but then he started waddling
like
his way in. And my issue isn't even with the hobbling and the limited mobility, but when he came out, my thought was this can't be the finished issue. Like not
No.
issue. This can't be the finished product. This looks like an
No.
exoskeleton that you're going to put more Hulk skin over top of. Then I realized, no, that's his outfit from Endgame. Like that's his Quantum Realm outfit. But
I think it is still a work in progress though.
no, it's showing up next week.
But Josh tomorrow said he's only going to be there for a few weeks.
That's true.
So, like, if he was going to be a main, like, if this was the end product, he would be there for much longer. So,
that's true.
I have a feeling that they did the suits to cover up what is not done, and that the final product is going to be something much better.
I hope so, because look at it.
I know, it's bad. When I saw it, I was like, but even why do you need the helmet? Like,
I know.
Is the mouth not done? Is the head not done? Is that why you decide to go with a helmet? Like,
I feel like maybe they just, maybe they're just so dead set on having him talk as opposed to being a nonverbal character. But I think I would be happy with a very detailed sculpt of a Hulk head with this costume that just doesn't speak. Like we have so many nonverbal character meet and greets anyway, and I would be so overwhelmed and happy just to see this guy by merit of the sheer size and the articulation of the hands that I don't need to see the mouth moving and I don't need to hear him talking personally.
But also I like if I want to meet the Hulk, I want to meet the Hulk. I want to meet like a green person that is huge. Like I don't want to meet him in a suit that he wears for literally 5 minutes.
Exactly. And how hard would it be to build a Hulk body?
And I could understand, like, they're known for, like, when they introduce their characters for being the most up to date with the universe. Yeah. He's not wearing this in She-Hulk. No. So why?
So many whys. I don't know. I do hope, like you said, that it is a work in progress and that there is a reason that he's just making a brief stop, because they can
unless
do so
this was
better.
Just to get him here, and then they're gonna take it off like when he does his meet and greets, because he like the whole premise of him coming there was he came from the future or something and was looking for Cap. So I don't know if maybe that's why they decided to dress him like this, and then he's gonna be changed later. I don't know.
Maybe. I think if we're gonna see a change, it'll be like you said, when he comes back after his brief stop. But no, I'm almost positive this is what people are going to get to meet in a week. And good for them. But I don't know, with all the buildup and with that short specifically creating all that buzz last year, I just think it's so weird that this is how they opt to introduce him. And it feels like a rushed job. It feels like they had to introduce this in some capacity at this D23, and maybe Sully wasn't ready, or the Yeti wasn't ready, or Thanos, and so they threw together this suit, and here is our Hulk. So
it would make sense because She-Hulk is on right now.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
That makes sense why they would do Hulk, but not that they would if it wasn't ready, it's not ready. No. I don't know what to tell them.
No, and I see this. I don't think this is ready.
No.
It's not ready at all. And even this, Too far. We'll see Figment in a second. Woot! But even just looking at this suit, the detailing and the articulation on it does not look that good. If they were going to
No.
put him in a suit, they could have done so much better. And even going back and looking at this production stills from Endgame, I don't know what it is, but their suits look so much better, even though it was the exact same design. Just something about it. This just seems it's like a big blah of white and gray with a little bit of Shrek thrown into the mix. So
Maybe they took the Shrek animatronic from Universal.
they just stole it. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay.
I mean, well, they sold off. Universal sold it off. So, like, who knows?
Can you imagine if Disney bought it from the auction just to repurpose into the Hulk? Brilliant. Okay, well, we already saw it. The next character meet and greet we found out about is Figment's coming back. Woo! So this is the one thing that Disney World is getting. Now, my question:
Yes, the one.
do we think it's going to be left Figment or right Figment? Like full-bodied Figment or puppet? Like, I don't think Dreamfinder's ever coming back, which is sad because I adore him, but I don't know.
I have no idea either way. I see myself meeting him for content, and that is all.
Really? You don't love Figment?
I do not like Figment. I think it is creepy. I think it is weird. I am not the Figment generation. I am that generation between Figment. Little kids love him.
Yeah.
Older people, like people that were born in the 80s, love him. People that were born in the 90s do not like him.
Amanda Hyde likes him. She was born in the 90s, I think. Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
But no,
I'm just like
he's so
my
cute.
generation
Yeah.
does not get it.
This will be the Figment sans. This will be what gets you to love Figment again.
Maybe
Yeah.
it will. I mean, as long as he's not creepy looking. Like the one on the right is creepy. I
He's
don't
so
like the little puppet.
cute. Oh, I love the little puppet. He's so
No,
fun.
his face looks creepy, and it would give me nightmares. The one on the left is a little less creepy, but still, like, I'd be like, I don't know if I really want to meet that. Kind of reminds me of Barney.
You don't like Barney? Oh my gosh.
I do like Barney. I did like
good.
Barney.
Good. I thought it was weird that they didn't give any details aside from Figment is coming. And again, they gave a very broad stroke sensation. They were like, late 2023. How difficult is it, Disney, for you to get a Figment costume? You have one.
Well, that's what makes me think it's probably not a costume, and it's probably like some type of animatronic type situation, like
That's
kind
what
of
I'm
maybe like the
hoping for.
Hulk, maybe like a robot.
I don't know, or maybe like, did you ever see the Muppet thing that was through Epcot? Or they were like a puppet show that was traveling. It was kind of like a puppet meet and greet. No? Oh, it's fantastic. It's like this Beaker and Dr. Honeydew come through, and they do like a whole scientific demonstration. It was like a flash mob situation. And
yes, I've seen that. Yes, I've seen that.
So if it was in the vein of that,
if it's like that.
Mm-hmm. But I do feel like if it is like that, if it's something that's anything more complicated than a costumed character, I think you would have to have some kind of human attendant with it. And that makes me question why they wouldn't announce that Dreamfinder's coming back. I don't know what their issue is with just not giving us Dreamfinder. Like we the people want Dreamfinder. Well, some of the people want Dreamfinder.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, he's wait, let me get the hold on. Let me get my laser pointer back.
Well, I understand.
It's him.
I understand that. But
Okay.
like I don't know his significance to Figment because I don't know the original Figment.
Oh, well, Dreamfinder is like Figment's human, as it were. He's the guy that finds dreams. Hence Dreamfinder. And Figment is Figment of the imagination. There's an entire Marvel comic series about Dreamfinder and Figment's origin story.
Oh.
Yes. I owned it and then I lost it without having read it. Oh, yeah, no, it's a thing. It's called Figment. I think there's 2 seasons or whatever the comic equivalent is of seasons. But yeah, Figment. Woo, he's coming back.
I just thought it was some random thing Disney came up with.
Well, yeah, they did a long time ago, though. So the comic is based on the character. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Figment wasn't originated in the Marvel comics. Marvel just created a Figment comic, I think, around the time that they were trying to bring Figment back for like the new generation. So
Yeah.
Figment exists. So I'm personally very excited to see Figment come back because I'm of the old generation. And Morgan, we will convert you. There it is.
Okay. But it does bother me that they gave all these dates of, oh, Hulk's coming next week. Mandalorian's coming in like a month. Why do we not get a date for Figment? That's what bothers me. There's no date.
Because Disney World doesn't get nice things. That's why. They have too much. There's too much stuff to do. So bare minimum for all 4 parks because it's a world and not a land. Next.
And the one that
Hatbox Ghost.
That I'm happy about. I
So
am happy. Finally, we are getting the Hatbox Ghost.
Yes. See, Disney World gets one thing that Disneyland got like almost 20 years ago. Well, it probably wasn't 20, but still.
Well, it was in the original, the OG, and then they took it out and then they put it back in.
Yeah, no, but the original barely counts. I think it was there for less than a week when when the ride first opened. So, no, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I like it in theory because I like that I'll be able to see the Hatbox Ghost at some point because but also there was something kind of nice about it being a Disneyland exclusive thing since his whole history and his whole heritage is rooted in that specific haunted mansion, because even though they are more or less the same ride track, at the same time there's pretty stark differences just with the architecture of the outside of the house with the additional parts of the ride in the Orlando version. So I don't know, I did like that it was like a distinct flourish that was special for that version of the mansion. But selfishly, I like that I can see the Hatbox Ghost easier.
Yeah. Now. My only question is, where is he going?
I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be.
Are we gonna lose a character?
No.
Because of him.
Well, I think in the Disneyland one, he's in the attic as soon as you enter. So I feel like that's going to be his spot too. Like when you're coming out of the ballroom in that little stretch before you go past all the paintings of the old husbands, before you actually see Constance, I think that's where Hattie goes or lives.
Okay.
Yeah. Because from what I recall, there's not a ton there. It's just attic space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's his room. He is definitely an attic dweller. So he's going to be in that scene somewhere. And there's no way that they're going to touch or adjust anything having to do with Constance or those paintings leading up to her.
Yeah, that's what my I was worried about. I was like, are they gonna and I know there's no way they will get rid of Constance. People will riot if that happens.
Yeah. No, because Constance is just as important, if not more important, than the Hatbox Ghost. But Hatbox Ghost is like her last husband, so it's not confirmed, but it's basically confirmed. Yeah. So it's nice to have that missing piece of the puzzle joining his murderess/wife. So that'll be fun. And I want to see him in person to see what the big deal is and why people love him so much.
Me too.
Yes, his head disappears.
As heck, which means if he's on the left side, which I think is where the attic starts, I will never sit on the left side ever again. So the Haunted Mansion scares me as is. Like, it is an anxiety-inducing situation. I've gotten better over the years now that I've moved here and I ride it a lot more often. But the graveyard scene is still the worst. It's still
that's when the ride gets fun, and that's when you get to see all the funny ghosts.
Then you get all the pop-ups, and they scare me.
The pop-ups are so. I want them to get rid of the pop-ups because I think they're so corny.
They are. And they're so dumb, but they get me every time.
Really?
Yes.
When I see the pop-ups, to me, that's the only thing that hasn't aged well about the mansion. That to me feels very 1960s, like Halloween horror house. Like, ooh. Yeah. And you even just hearing the compressed air going like.
Yeah. Well, they've kind of fixed that. I don't hear it very much anymore. I think they oiled them when they did the refurb on it recently.
Oh, okay.
And they repainted everything, so it's all like very fluorescent now.
Oh, I love it. So, yay, Hatbox. Excited. Should be fun. All right, next. I think we're moving into the big announcements. Here we are. Yes. Another cruise ship. Do we need another one? I don't think so, but Disney does, so hooray. Now, this is the Disney Treasure, and I think this is their most significant announcement that they made. I mean, I guess I don't pay enough attention. I didn't know that a 6th ship was even on the table. as an option because the Wish just happened. But
I didn't know either, and I know that ships are like multi-billion-dollar investments. So you think they would wait a little bit for the Wish to be on the sea before they introduce a new one? But I guess not.
There it is.
Maybe it was cheaper to build two. I don't know.
A 2-for-1 deal. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. So yeah, Disney Treasure, their whole thing that they were going for is that the theme of this ship has to do with adventuring and exploration, catering to Walt's love of exploring different regions of the planet and everything. When they were talking about how that was going to influence the design, I had higher hopes for what the exterior of the ship would look like, but now it just looks like generic Disney ship on the outside.
I don't know that you can really change the outside though. I mean, like you could change the I don't know what that's called. The bow, the front.
Oh yeah.
Like I know the front of the Wish has Rapunzel.
Oh no, she's on the back. She's on the.
Oh, she's on the back.
Deer.
So
I think all of
the
them.
back is gonna have something then, and the. Because I guess the front doesn't have anything then. Because I don't know how much you can really change how much a ship looks.
Like all the cruise lines have their distinct look to them and their distinct factors. So like even just the paint job, like the gold trim up against the navy part at the bottom, that's very Disney. The stacks at the top with Mickey is also very Disney. I guess I thought that they would switch up the color scheme or something, specifically with the white up at the top, but I'm assuming they do just want to look like a generic Disney cruise ship from the outside, but the inside is the big difference. And it's gonna look like this. Ooh.
Yeah. It's gonna have a giant Aladdin and
Jasmine statue.
Flying carpet statue.
Yeah, and I feel like they haven't announced, and that's one of the things I thought was kind of weird. They didn't announce who the character is going to be on the back, because when they announced the Wish, that was a big deal, because that's one of the signatures and the trademarks of the Disney Cruise Line fleet is that each ship has a distinct character who's somehow hanging out on the back as something kind of fun and quirky, and Rapunzel, as we all know, is the character they opted. Oh no, you didn't know that's Rapunzel?
I don't know a lot about Disney Cruise Line at all, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. Like it's one of their hallmarks. And so they didn't announce though who the character is going to be for the treasure, as far as I know. Based on the statue, maybe Aladdin and Jasmine, but I don't think they often repeat the statue and the lobby character with the character who's on the back. So it would have to be somebody who is also in that more Adventureland-esque realm.
Yeah.
Like maybe Simba, but Simba doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. So that'll be interesting.
Maybe because on the Wish they have Cinderella, and on the back is Rapunzel. What's on the other ones? Because you could kind of do a process of elimination.
Let me see. Disney Cruise Line ships character on
Adventure. I'm trying to think. They definitely wouldn't do Indiana Jones, but that's the first person that comes to my mind.
Here we go. Stern characters. All right. So yeah, the Wish is Rapunzel.
Okay.
The Disney Magic, it's Goofy. And it's Goofy, and he's like dressed like a painter, and he's on a harness looking like he's painting, which is really quite funny.
Okay.
On the Wonder, it looks like it's Donald. Yeah, on the Wonder, it's Donald with Huey. Oh, actually, the Wonder one is really funny. So, again, it's Donald painting. Okay, so all of these Stern characters are characters that are painting. That's like the through line. So they're painting that distinct gold line around the ship. So the Donald Duck one has Donald painting, and then Huey is coming out of a porthole with a pair of scissors, like he's going to cut the line to make Donald fall. That's hilarious. And then on the Disney Dream, it's Sorcerer Mickey, but get this, he's not the one painting. The brooms are painting from Fantasia. Very good, very fun. And then on the Fantasy, it's Dumbo. So cute.
So then I wonder if this one would be Pinocchio.
Or maybe Genie. I would think Genie, if they want to keep going with the Aladdin theme.
Maybe.
Because it has to be somebody painting. That's the thing. To me, Genie would be a good choice.
If they had Pinocchio with like Geppetto.
Oh, that could be cute. I'd be on board with that if Figaro was with them. Except I don't know if Pinocchio necessarily fits with the adventuring vibe because I think they're going with more, again, like Adventureland-esque characters. And to me,
Yeah,
like Pinocchio's more Fantasyland,
I guess so.
but
But
I
then,
don't.
like, who would they have? Like, that's my other thing. Like,
Mhm.
there's no one
Oh,
else really in.
Treasure Planet character.
Ooh,
That could be fun. Yes.
That would be fun.
I'd be
That'd
on
be
board.
good.
Like that robot, whatever his name is. I feel like the robot should be the one painting. That's what we need to see. Yeah, how do you feel about this color scheme? Because this is something so different and such a massive departure from the aesthetic we've seen on all the past Disney ships, as well as even in the resorts. I don't think we've seen anything with this like deep blue, which I personally love.
I like it. I think it sticks out, and I think it like really makes that nighttime sky vibe, which is what I think they're going for with the floating carpet. But I think it's a little dark.
I can see that.
For
Yeah.
like the lobby and like where they would like people to spend some time, like, or I mean, like, I guess they want them to spend it outside, but I don't know. Just kind of looks a little dark.
Yeah, no, they could definitely light it up a little bit more. Looking at it though, I'm also seeing, I don't know, to me it looks like this is almost in some ways the same design as what we've seen recently on the Wish, specifically with this, with the lighting fixture on top. So I know light seems to carry pretty well in the Wish lobby. Granted, everything is white, so it bounces a lot easier. I do feel like they would be able to, well, not even feel, of course, they're going to be able to control lighting levels 100%. So I don't know. I don't know. I have faith in it. I really like it. And also, as Yoda from Merck said, Gungaloosh, implying that it might have some kind of connection to sea. And we all know that I'm all about the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. And Disney seems to be very lazy, but still on track to introduce them more so in the parks and in the experiences. So if there's a sea connection, I'm here for it, but I guess we have to wait and see.
So my question is this one going to go into the Orlando port and take over the Wish? Or like, where is this one going to, is it going to go into the New Zealand, Australia port? Like,
interesting. Well, they did announce one of the ships is going to Australia. Yeah,
I think it was a Dream.
That sounds right.
Because the Fantasy is retired now.
What?
Yeah, they said that the very first, or the, whichever one's the first ship.
Yeah.
The first ship they put out, the Wish was supposed to replace the first one, that one.
Oh, I didn't know they were getting rid of one of them. Okay.
Yeah. So, or I don't know if they like are really getting rid of it. I don't know. Seems like a lot of money to get rid of, something like that. But
maybe they're going to put it in World Showcase Lagoon. It'll replace the barges. That's where it's going.
That would be interesting. I think people would like that more than the barges. I'm not.
No, it'll be the new Disney resort. It makes so much sense. You get to stay in the middle of Epcot on a boat.
It'd be competing with what Universal's doing. I mean, hey.
That's the overall running theme with all of these announcements, is that none of them can hold a candle to the fact that Universal is opening an entirely new park. Everyone had such high expectations for these announcements we were getting today because we all know Epic Universe is coming. And yet they gave us Figment. So
they gave us Figment and a bunch of non-dates.
And a bunch of non-dates. Exactly. So anyone vacationing in Florida over the next 2 to 4 years has to choose between Epic Universe or Figment. And maybe Tron if it's open.
Hey, we're not going to go there. It's going to be open. It's going to be open.
Will it? I don't know.
I don't understand what's going to take it so long if Josh D'Amaro can already ride it.
I know.
Like, you wouldn't get on that thing if it's going to drop you.
Exactly. I don't, like, what are they waiting for? Jen's here. Welcome. Jen, what do you think of these announcements? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Martha says, no elevators in the lobby. I don't like missing the central bank of elevators. I suspect that the elevators are... I think the elevators, if this was a real photo, I think they would be behind you.
No. I think they're in the back underneath the staircase.
Let me see.
Back against those gold walls. Right there. Right where your picture is. Yeah.
No, those aren't
No,
no.
to the left, to the left, to the left. Right
Oh,
there,
over
right
here.
there. There's door. Those are clearly doors. No, to the right.
Oh,
to the
that's
right.
true. Where?
To the, like in between the two gold-plated things. There.
Oh, there. No, but that can't be elevators. Because look, if you go up, it's empty.
But how do you know that's empty?
Because this is like a balcony. This is a lookout area.
But
So
that
then
would
you
make
go-
sense that if you went up with the elevator, that there's a balcony right there.
Oh, potentially. I know. I'm putting my money on the elevators being where we are viewing this from.
Probably. I
Yeah,
mean,
because-
possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like it's such a cruise ship thing. Every cruise line's lobby needs to have a beautiful bank of like see-through elevators that just go up and down. Like it's an unwritten rule
Oh.
of cruise ship architecture. Like they all have them. Well, I say that like I'm an expert, though I did work on a cruise ship for like 5.5 months. I left half a month early because it was terrible, but there we are. Fun times. So yeah, that's a thing. Kind of related to that, we have more details about Disney's second private island.
Mhm.
I wrote down the name.
In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, Lighthouse Point. So
Lighthouse
I didn't
Point.
even know that there was a second island that we were getting, but evidently this is news that has been around for a while. People weren't sure if it was going to be halted or stopped completely because of the pandemic, but as it turns out, no. So it is
Oh.
continuing and going forward. Again, it was one of those very
It's
vague
going to be
announcements.
up and running faster than Tron was. So.
Probably. I found their video of Josh on the island was so entertaining because
Oh my
it was
God,
just a
it was,
drone
like,
video.
Literally nothing.
It was a drone of Josh on the beach, and then it just flies out. It's like it's an empty beach.
And then he comes on and he's like, "It's still going."
It's
I'm
still
just
happening.
Like, yeah, it is.
It's still happening. What was Jen say? I love we can meet Figment. Yeah, Figment. Woo! But I'm not happy about Harmonious going away. There we go. No, Morgan's with you there. Again, I'm more or less indifferent. We'll come back later. Happily Ever After coming back is great news. Like again, I'm just so conflicted about Disney seemingly giving in to people complaining on the internet about both those shows.
Yep.
And then giving them what they want. Because if they were going to cave to internet pressure, cave in with Genie Plus. I know that it's making them a ton of money. So obviously they're not going to get rid of that as easily as they can just, well, I say easily, it's going to cost them a ton of money to swap out those two shows anyway. But I just feel like, I don't know, it's such a weird move. And I think Genie Plus could be improved and still be a paid for service. Or even if they just had traditional Fast Pass back and you pay the same price per day for that. Because it was a system that kind of worked.
I just don't understand how it works so much better in Disneyland than it does in Disney World.
I've heard people explain it, and it was a reason that made sense that I can't exactly remember. It has something to do with land having more rides in conjunction with a demographic that's more based in annual pass holders as opposed to tourists, or something about like those elements kind of all come together to result in it being a more efficient system, I think. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know if Genie Plus will ever replace the efficiency of Fast Pass. Well, I can't even say that.
Or
Fast Pass had so many problems.
Fast Pass.
Or the what? Sorry?
Or the freeness of Fast Pass.
Exactly. Although Disney was really the last park in the world that was providing some kind of free skip the line system. So like good for them for having it as long as they did. But if they were going to replace it with something that was costing extra money, it should be better than what I've been led to believe Genie Plus is.
And I also feel like as an annual pass holder that I should get it as part of my annual pass. Yeah,
exactly. Or if not that, I feel like annual pass holders should get the photo pass. Like it just...
I should not have to pay $99 extra a year for photo pass.
That's ridiculous. But it is coming back to Disneyland's key system or whatever that they have. So maybe, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, yay, new Bahama Island. That's fun.
Yay!
Okay, here we go. Into the big announcements.
Ooh.
Animal Kingdom. Dinoland is leaving us. Now, how do you feel before we get into what's potentially replacing it? Just Dinoland. Do you like that it's going away, or do you want to keep it? Do you wish they were improving on the dino element of it?
I am a little sad that it's going away. because I think it's fun. I think it's a nice little play area for like little kids that you don't really have in other parts of Animal Kingdom. However, I am so happy that I am at least hoping that these darn carnival games go away, because they are the most annoying things. And I think that they could do so much more with the space.
Mm-hmm.
So much more. But it also makes me question, what are they going to do with Dinosaur?
I think Dinosaur is going. Or not
You
going.
think?
I think it's going to be rethemed. Like, they're not going to bulldoze that ride or that ride track, but for the stuff that they teased could potentially be going into this space, like Dinosaur in its current incarnation, there's no place for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was such like a staple in that park. Like
It scares me too much, so I'm happy to see it go.
It does
Good
scare
riddance.
me, but I do go on it every single time.
No, good riddance. I've ridden it once. The whole time I had my eyes closed and my ears covered, so I really just felt the mild vibrations of the ride vehicle, and that was my ride experience.
That thing like swooshes me all around.
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't even pay attention because I deprived myself of like two of my dominant senses. So, and I was just scared.
I am screaming the entire time on that ride because I'm so petrified of everything.
Nope, can't do it. See, Dinoland is no big loss. I'm ready for something else. Mm-hmm. I think I agree. Whenever I go to Animal Kingdom, I do a quick walkthrough of Dinoland. My favorite thing recently has just been Donald's Dino Bash and whatever, like cute costumes. You can move those costumes anywhere or give us new costumes and new characters. But
I am gonna miss seeing Chip and Dale in their dinosaur outfits.
Yes. Well, I feel like we can still.
Now.
Are they not? Oh, I thought they came back. That's sad.
None of the Dinoland meet and greet has come back. None of the like really Animal Kingdom meet and greet, except for Mickey and Minnie, is back. Mickey and Minnie is the only thing. Kevin is back. But you can't meet Russell. You can't meet Chip and Dale. You can't meet Goofy, Donald, Pluto.
Huh. That's
as
weird.
As far as I know, none of it has come back.
But the other parks have had most of their meet and greets come back, haven't they?
No.
No? Oh, there it is.
They only have like a certain few that have come back. Like Epcot used to have Baymax, which is who I was super excited about, is coming back to Disneyland because they're refilming all of Pixar Pier to San Francisco.
Or no, it's not Pixar Pier. It's I wrote it down. It's Pixar Pier is staying Pixar Pier. San Francisco is going to Pacific Ward.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. Somewhere around that area. Yeah. I don't know Disneyland to know the specifics. But they're getting Baymax. And I was like, but where's our Baymax? Because we had Baymax originally, and San Francisco was supposed to go in Epcot originally.
What? No.
Yes.
Where?
That's what they were saying was going to be that middle section was supposed to be San Francisco. And it was supposed to have all the newest tech and like all this because Epcot's all about new coming.
I wouldn't like that in Epcot. I don't want that in Epcot.
Or it was going to go into Tomorrowland. I don't know, but they just said that they were going to bring it to Epcot because that's where his meet and greet was with Joy and Sadness. But they've moved the Joy and Sadness and Vanellope meet and greet, but they did, and Mickey, but they didn't. Baymax isn't in there.
Huh. Yeah. Well, meh. I hugged him once. It was fine. Good times. But I didn't realize so many Disney World meet and greets weren't back yet. I want them to come back.
Or they are back, but like very limited times. Like Merida, you can only meet her like twice a day. It's very limited, and
That's
you can barely get it. And
really?
then and like their rare characters that they would occasionally haven't brought those back. Jack Sparrow is rarely out.
It's making me a lot less interested in going back to Disney World because characters are my jam. So,
I mean, they're bringing more back like every month. I feel like
okay.
With Boo Bash, they really brought characters back, which I was like, okay, well, at least they're starting to bring them back. I think it's just about like who they're gonna bring back, and I think maybe it's about having the staff to bring them back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I don't know why, but I do feel like once Fantasmic comes back, that'll open the gate to more characters.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because you need all the characters anyway for that show. So I think that indicates that they're bringing back a ton of entertainment staff anyway. So
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll see. Oh, they didn't announce when Fantasmic's coming back. That's another thing we didn't get.
That's why I wore these. They didn't. He put, so on the screen in the back when he was done announcing everything, he popped up all the symbols of everything. And in 2023 was Fantasmic.
I thought it was coming back this year.
Or 2022, I meant.
Okay.
It was Fantasmic.
There's only like 4 months left. It'll happen.
I know. But why, again, no dates?
Like, do they know what they're doing at Disney World? That's my question.
Like they don't. I feel like they really don't care about Disney World.
Like, what are they waiting for? I blame your governor. I don't know why. I just do.
I really do too.
DeSantis, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm so entertained that I know about Florida politics just by merit of my love of Disney. That says a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dinoland, outstayed your welcome. Happy to see you extinct. This is the one piece of concept art potentially that we saw, and it was paired with, did you watch the actual presentation where they were talking about this? This
was the one I made sure I watched.
It was so wishy-washy though, and so weird. And my thought process when Josh said we have all of this space in Dinoland that we want to play around with and reinvigorate, and to talk about it, I'm going to bring out so-and-so and Jennifer Lee. As soon as I saw Jennifer Lee, my first thought was, you better not be here to somehow justify why Anna and Elsa belong in Animal Kingdom. Thankfully, she didn't. Because truthfully, I forgot that Jennifer Lee does more than Frozen, because I just think of her as the Frozen lady. But
I didn't even know that she was Frozen.
I
was just like, why are you out here?
No,
like,
Jennifer Lee is like, she created Frozen. Frozen is her.
I know. I think she also did Encanto.
Like, she was definitely involved. I think aside from her being like the brain and the heart behind Frozen, she's also, if not the head of Disney animation, I really should know this, but I don't. She's very high up. She's more or less like one of the people who is making a ton of the creative decisions when it comes to the Disney animation studios. But no, it did make sense, at least when they were talking about
decision. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Well, this is another thing, though, going back to what I said at the beginning about how the news is covering this as though it's an announcement, and again, hearing things that people want to hear as opposed to what was said. But what was said was like, these are, I think the term was blue sky developments. These are things that we're throwing around, and they're potentials, but not confirmed. And I thought it was so weird how they
have concept art for it, that they're like, oh my God, it's happening. But honestly, if this doesn't happen, I will not be upset.
Yep. Yeah. What I found fun was when they showed this piece of concept art, Josh specifically said, oh yeah, like this is the one that I like, as though to say, I don't know, like this is what he's personally going to be fighting for. But just the whole vibe with this presentation to me was so weird because it was so non-committal across the board.
And I feel like because they're in two spots. So they originally said Zootopia, which is what everyone in the community right now, from what I can tell, on like all the posts, they're all saying it's Zootopia. They are not saying it's Moana. No. So, but then Josh didn't seem to like that very much. So he was like, or we could do Moana and look at this. And I really like, so it kind of seems like the Disney execs are pushing in the form of Moana. Yeah. Whereas everyone else would like something different, because honestly, if you're going to have a 16-foot Tafiti in Epcot and have this whole thing dedicated to Moana there, then why are you going to have a whole nother land in a whole nother park dedicated to Moana that's on the same coast? Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And like,
Moana never made sense to me in Epcot anyway, but that's just neither here nor there.
It doesn't. Like, to be fair, it doesn't. It doesn't. But if you're going to have it here, like, then why do you have it in Epcot?
Right. No, and I don't even think Moana makes sense in Animal Kingdom, because very little of that story has to do with animals.
No.
There's a giant crab, and that's it.
I think it's more about, they were saying because of her her relationship to the land,
to nature and the
is
land,
like
yeah.
what they were going for, which is very much present in the thing. But I think what would make more sense would either be Zootopia, because you could literally take what you're building in Shanghai and duplicate it, which in theory should take less time.
Oh yeah, just copy paste.
But as we see with Tron, apparently it's not that easy.
Very true. But what I find about this, let me get my laser pointer again. I think this is interesting because I think it's an indication that it's half Moana, but then also looking back here, like I think this is meant to be Zootopia. I think this is meant to be one of those spaces, kind of like we saw in one of the international parks, either not Hong Kong. Oh, Paris. I think either Paris or Shanghai, maybe both, about how they were having that new expansion that was 3 distinct lands kind of within
That's
one.
Shanghai.
That's Shanghai, yeah. And I think it was Frozen, Tangled, and Aladdin or something like that.
Oh, that one. I think that might have been Japan.
Okay, that sounds right. But but I think just that model, that idea of having an expansion that has lands within that overall land, I think that's something that they're trying to carry over with both the Animal Kingdom expansion as well as the Magic Kingdom expansion that we'll talk about in a second. So it felt to me like they were saying what they're going for, what they're considering, is doing both, even though this is very heavily Moana inspired, but just in the distance, you totally see, to me, that looks like Zootopia, like when Judy's riding the train, getting there. So even though they don't have this much space, well, Animal Kingdom has a ton of space that's probably undeveloped, but I don't know. I would feel okay, I think, with having a hybrid, with having a little bit of both. I would I think Zootopia makes more sense overall, both because animals in Animal Kingdom and also because you're replacing the land that was kind of unofficially the kids' land anyway. And Zootopia is much more colorful, much more kid friendly, even though I know kids love Moana as well. Moana to me is aesthetically.
And this looks like kind of like on the right here. This looks kind of like a replacement for the
pterodactyl spin.
Yeah, the pterodactyl spin. It looks like a replacement for that. What I'm most interested is the one on the left. That Moana looks
mini
like a
Splash
log
Mountain
flume kind of thing. I wonder if they're going to use it to go on the Discovery River. Sorry.
Oh.
Choking. Because that used to be a huge ride that I learned from Jeanette from We Like Theme Parks, her podcast.
Oh, did you listen? Are you listening to We Like Theme Parks now?
Yes,
nice. I heard that episode too. Good times.
And I heard herself, and she also told me this, like, I think on one of your live streams, maybe, or another one, that there used to be a ride that you could ride through the Discovery River on.
Yeah, it wasn't good, but it was there.
No, but if you theme it Moana, then maybe it might be good. I don't know. Yeah. So are they going to utilize that? I don't know. But what I personally think would be a better idea than Moana would be to do Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is 100% like animal. You could really especially if you do her on the river. Like you could utilize Suki throughout the river or whatever. And they apparently have like this dragon that was supposed to blow fire. That could be like one of the things. I don't know.
That would be amazing. I would love to see more Raya representation. I mean, but sadly, I think so many of these developments have to do with box office numbers, and Raya financially didn't do that great. I mean, I'm just happy that she's officially a princess now. I think that's as much as we're getting. But Moana, in my mind, is not nearly as good of a movie as Raya and the Last Dragon. But then again, I don't think Frozen is a good movie. But the kids love it, so that's what the parks get.
But to be honest, this just looks like kind of boring to me.
Yeah, it does. Like we're giving up this for this.
Yeah, nice color.
Look how colorful. Although granted, very tacky. So
yeah.
But this also just looks it looks similar to what the rest of Animal Kingdom looks like. And I mean, that is the theme of Animal Kingdom. So it's not me hating on the fact that it's a park celebrating nature and natural beauty. But I think the cool thing about Dinoland was that it was just aesthetically, it was so different from what the rest of the park was offering that That's why I would like Zootopia personally, because same thing. It's honoring the message of the park whilst at the same time, like giving us those fun, vibrant colors and something a little
Yeah.
bit more whimsical. So,
And my other thing is, if this is going to be a log flume, does that mean that they're going to get rid of Cali River Rapids? Or are they just going to have 2 water rides? Because that's not really a Disney thing to have 2 water rides in one park.
interesting. I keep forgetting Cali River Rapids is a ride because it's always closed when I go there. It's always under refurbishment. So in my mind,
Oh.
it doesn't exist. So
I
there
mean,
it
it's
is.
kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. Unless this is like a reimagining of Cali River Rapids, which I would 100% like agree with. Sure, theme it Moana. Because right now Cali River Rapids doesn't have that like older message of deforestation in it anymore. It's just you kind of go through it and there's nothing to it. And then you go over a lot and then you go over a fall.
Except Cali River Rapids geographically within the park isn't in this area, is it? Like it's not near Dinoland, is it?
I mean, it. See, this is my thing. Is that Dinoland over there where
Zootopia is? No, I
and
think
then
all of
like
this.
the walkway to get there. Because if this is the walkway, this is the walkway to Asia, I think, where Cali River Rapids is.
I got the impression that this walkway was just a new thing that they were going to throw. Like they were going to create 2 new water bodies, like just where the pavement is and where the carnival is. Because I think, yeah, because these both to me looked like self-contained bodies of water that wouldn't connect to Discovery River or whatever that's called. Yeah. But also I question how much
I don't know where the Tree of Life is because it's nowhere in this picture.
Oh, I think the Tree of Life is like the elevators on the cruise ship. We are the Tree of Life right now. I think we're looking at it from the like not like we're standing on top of the Tree of Life, but I think this perspective is meant to be from like center of the park looking out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That would go back really far then.
Yeah. Again, me questioning how much space they actually have to work with there.
Yeah.
And within this, I don't even know how Dinosaur would fit in. Because I don't think Dinosaur, if they went with a Moana / Zootopia hybrid land, it would have to be a Zootopia ride because there's no vehicle that they could justify.
Well, the new vehicle for the Zootopia ride in Shanghai looks very similar to the ride vehicle for Dinosaur.
Really?
Yeah. It's like that 4-person seated, like kind of truck thing.
There's our answer.
There's our answer. Yeah. So that's why I really think they're going to do Zootopia, but it would make sense if they did both, and it would make sense why they would present concept art for Moana over Zootopia, because we already kind of know probably what Zootopia is going to look like based on Shanghai.
Right, that makes sense. Like I'm on board for both as long as we get Zootopia. That would be my priority.
Yeah.
But this is years away, and even Josh said we're just giving you an idea. It's not coming soon.
Yeah. No coming soon. No, none of that. Nope.
There's no commitment from that man.
Well, even the creator was like the guy, the head Imagineer. He was like, "Am I gonna get fired for this?" Like,
I know. Well, I think that was also just part of a really bad shtick. So much of D23 was cringy, bad presentations and people who can't talk in front of an audience. Like, truthfully,
you can tell it's like a bunch of Imagineers that are like very like stereotypical engineers, very antisocial, and don't talk in front of people.
Not even just them. Like, pretty well everyone who was running the panels, they was so bad. Like, Nina West was the only person who could hold an audience and who knew how to work a crowd and made the lulls not awkward. Although, no, Raven and that other girl who's from Ontario and I went to university with, I should know her name, Lily Singh. They were okay, but yeah, I think D23's through line is awkward presentations. Okay, so there we go. Next, let's talk about the Magic Kingdom expansion, or as they have been framing it, Behind Big Thunder Mountain. First off, like, how do you feel about them tacking on something in that space?
I feel like the railroad is never going to be open.
Okay, yes, fair.
Because I feel like this is going to go right where the railroad is, which means it's going to be closed again. I'm never going to ride this railroad. I've never ridden it. And so when I found out why it was such an important thing, like when I grew up, I was like, oh my God, I want to ride it. And I've never ridden it because it's always been closed.
Yeah, it's going to be closed again. I don't like, in theory, that they're just going to throw stuff behind Big Thunder Mountain, because my issue, and this is such a small thing really in the greater scheme of Disney park design that probably only annoys me, but my issue with that area, as much as I love Big Thunder Mountain, is that it's just like a dead end in the park. And the beauty of the park's design is that aside from that thing, yeah, it's a circle, and you could just effortlessly get from one part of the circle to another part. And there's just a fluidity to that I think is brilliant and so nice. But this is just going to be an offset that is going to really annoy me. Kind of like Dumbo's Circus Land. Goes nowhere. It's just a tiny pocket off to the side. So these 3 lands
are they going to connect
damn well
to
be
that?
worth it.
If they connect to that, that would be a lot nicer.
Is there anything, again, not really knowing the actual geography of Magic Kingdom outside of what's in the park?
We have no idea what's behind that. No. There's nothing like that we know of that is directly behind that.
Like, what would it?
You want me to pull up the map?
Sure. If it were to open up to another part of the park, it would probably go into Liberty Square. No, it wouldn't go to Liberty Square or Fantasyland. I don't think there's any other part of the park that I can connect to. I do think it's going to be.
It would have to connect to the Haunted Mansion. That would be the closest thing.
Oh, well, maybe that there could be a link there with the Villain Land kind of in the background, but yeah.
Okay, so this is where we're talking about. So
I'm gonna solo layout you. Yeah.
There is literally, so they would have to cut the riverboat off here. Like they would have to cut off this area and build, and it looks like they're gonna build this.
Like, okay, so it might connect, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like, or they're just gonna go back that way and build over here-ish, which is like typical backstage. But I don't know.
Wait, where's Tom Sawyer's Island? Is it that bigger chunk in the middle? Oh, okay. So yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Like they could connect it to the Haunted Mansion. But I feel like if you have all these ideas, why not just build a new park?
And I don't think there's anything that could join all of these as a new park thematically.
But that's what I mean, like make them their separate lands. Right.
What would that be though? Like Disney's Reject Kingdom. Yes.
I don't know.
I'm skeptical we'll ever get these lands. I would like to see them. I like the idea of small towns and villages. It makes sense being near Frontierland. Okay. I
don't think so. Honestly, I'm like so conflicted about this. Like the villains part, I love. I love the villains. I'm like, yes, should definitely go in Animal. Should definitely go in Magic Kingdom. But Coco, if you want it so bad that you're willing to build after it, why not redo the Mexico Pavilion, expand the Mexico Pavilion, and put it behind the Mexico Pavilion?
If it went behind the Mexico Pavilion, I'd be all about that. I wouldn't want them to sacrifice or change what we have because I love it currently. But like, if they want to put it behind something, yeah.
Yeah, because we all know there's a Coco ride gonna be changed anyway. It's gonna change into a Coco ride.
No, it needs to always be 3 caballeros.
Well, we hope. Well, that's maybe why they're gonna give us this so that they don't have to change their caballeros. Maybe, I don't know. But and then build the Brazil Pavilion or Colombia Pavilion that they've been talking about, that they've been like kind of hinting towards with this new permanent Brazil booth. Build that and build a whole Encanto area behind that, and then you have it in Epcot where it makes sense for it to go. And then all you can do is after that find an area somewhere in Magic Kingdom for a villains area.
Yeah, well, the Villains Land I think makes the most sense being connected to Fantasyland in some way, shape or form. I don't know. I'm of two minds. In theory, I like it joining Magic Kingdom because, well, actually, Coco is very connected to the Mexican culture. I say knowing very little about the Mexican culture. Just actually, I don't have any claim to make that statement, but whatever. I'm gonna run with it. I feel like both Coco and Encanto are more magical than they are cultural in some ways. So I do think that the types of attractions that we would potentially get feel like they would be more at home in Magic Kingdom, kind of like how everyone says that the Frozen ride feels so out of place in the Norway Pavilion, and like the constant claim that like it's a Magic Kingdom ride. I think that's the same thing that we would see with both of those. And I do like, well,
I don't think it's out of place because it's in Norway.
Well, I mean, Arundel's not real. It's the whole thing. It's not a real country. But I think also space might be an issue, that potentially they have more space to work with in Magic Kingdom. Well, actually, no, they have all those plots of land that were supposed to be countries in World Showcase that didn't actually happen. So I don't know. It could go either way for sure. But I don't know. Overall, whether it is in Magic Kingdom or elsewhere, I do like having these lands, or the idea of these lands, specifically Coco, because I think that's my favorite Disney Pixar movie that's come out in the last 15 to 20 years overall. So I would love to see it get some kind of attraction. It sounds like it would be some kind of Flight of Passage-esque thing where we get to, where we get to ride on Pepita. And then we all know that there's going to be a Madrigal house. So there it is. Oh yeah, this is another good point. More diversity in Magic Kingdom is important.
Coco has the longevity to like surpass like its viewership, if that makes sense. I don't know that Encanto does.
Interesting.
So like I feel like if this doesn't happen in the next 5 years, no one's gonna care that there's an Encanto house.
No, I think people will, because with the popularity that we have with Encanto right now, they're going to keep doing stuff to make sure that it stays everyone's favorite. Kind of like with Frozen. Like, I think Frozen is still popular because they keep shoving it in our faces. And even before Frozen 2, like for a good solid year and a half, 2 years, there was always a new Frozen short before every new Disney film, so that they would just keep reminding the kids, you like these sisters. You like Anna and Elsa. Give us more money. And I do think that that's going to be the case with Encanto. And honestly, I prefer to see that with Encanto, because my whole issue is that the world building they did with Encanto is really good. And I like the characters. I just don't like the movie that introduced us to all of them, because I think it was there was too much, and it was narratively a giant mess. It was just singing about each family member and showing us what their magic was. But now that we know who they are, I do think Encanto is a good property to give it the Frozen franchise treatment. Like, give me a bunch of shorts. Like, give me a short that's solely dedicated to Louisa or solely dedicated to Peppa, so we can see each character existing as an individual. And then if we have a couple years of that and of that world building, and we get to know the characters a little bit more, by the time we can meet them in the house, it'll be that much more exciting.
Yeah. I just think they should switch them if they are going to do it. Because Encanto is supposed to be behind a big giant like wall, like Big Thunder Mountain, not Coco. Yeah. And I think that was the biggest thing for me. They were like, behind Big Thunder Mountain, you signed this tiny little village, and it's Coco. And I was like, wait, what? Like,
no, Coco takes place in Mexico.
It to be Encanto, and then they're like, and then behind that is Encanto, and I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. Right? This doesn't make sense. What are you doing?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if geographically they switched it from what we're seeing in the concept art and how they announced it. I think they announced it that way solely to cash in on the popularity of Encanto, because it would have been I don't want to say a letdown, but it would have been anticlimactic to start with Encanto, then go to Coco, because even though I much prefer Coco, like, people now want Encanto. And the villains was just a nice surprise that everyone has been asking for, but nobody expected. So it makes sense that would be the last thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much this is actually all gonna happen.
No, Josh said that it is happening.
He said it is happening. I don't know. He said there's talks.
Yes. Well, again, that whole presentation, that part of the presentation was so non-committal and so wishy-washy, where he made sure that we understood that all of these were just ideas, but at the same time, he went out of his way to say, don't think that we're just like blowing smoke. He didn't say that, but that was the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, it's something's going to happen. We just don't know what.
And he like I think I feel like I specifically remember him saying like, if we change things, don't be upset. Like,
yes.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know if like in a few years, because like obviously there's no money on the books for this right now. They're not fully doing this right now. They're not excavating the land or anything. So in a few years, and that's why I wonder if they're going to build Coco first, because they know Coco has already proven to go the distance. And I wonder if they're iffy if Encanto can go the distance.
No, I think Encanto, they're invested in Encanto. They've been talking about very publicly about people lobbying for the Encanto attraction. Even Lin made a statement where he was like, I'm having meetings with Disney because I want this to happen. So I do think it will happen. I think it would make sense though to open them one at a time as it goes.
Yeah.
So I mean, selfishly, I want Coco like now.
I want Coco.
Yes.
Like I think we've waited way long for Coco.
Exactly.
And then maybe that'll ease up the Mexico pavilion too.
True. And then more people like me can enjoy the Donald Duck ride. I love the Donald Duck ride.
I will say
so much
though,
fun.
the Wishing Star movie, the character drawing looked awfully like Isabella.
A little bit. More so, I think, what she was wearing. Like, the dress was very Isabella. The features, I think she looked...
I originally saw that, and I was like, Isabella, why is she, like, on this... Like, that's what I immediately thought.
Like the Isabella movie?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited for the adorable little goat, personally.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I'm just saying, like, it looked an awful lot like Isabella.
I know. I heard a lot of people also saying it looked like they put Pocahontas in Isabella's dress.
Oh.
Yeah, but
the city looks like it's going to take place in like maybe somewhere in the Middle East, like Israel.
Oh, I was thinking, I heard someone say Spain as well.
Oh, Spain would be a good one.
Yeah.
Spain.
So we'll see. That's probably the announcement out of all D23 I'm the most excited for. Also because that's coming a lot sooner than anything in the parks. So
I know they were like, oh, Disney Animation come within the next 2 years. Like,
yeah, Disney Animation is on top of it.
Like,
Disney Animation knows when their stuff's coming out.
Yeah, and then Parks was just like, spring, summer.
Eventually.
Except for Disneyland, except for the stuff in Disneyland, they were like, up next week, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, Toontown's going to be open in 2023. Like, we are, or 2024. We already know this. Like, whatever. I was like, what the heck?
No, it was this whole panel was very I guess, lack of a better word, generous to Disneyland. It felt like it was just most exciting and most concrete for Disneyland. And I'm sure there are reasons.
Parks abroad.
Oh, true. I don't pay attention to those because I know I'm not going to go there anytime soon. So I don't want to get too excited about all the cool stuff that I can't see.
I was a little shocked that they had 3 Frozen lands in 3 different parks. And I was like, where's our Frozen land?
We don't, we have Norway.
We don't even put one in I guess we have Norway, but I mean, you could.
Norway is Frozen land.
I want an Anna and Elsa coaster, okay? Rather than that rinky-dink water ride.
Bring back Maelstrom. Bring back Maelstrom.
Give us a Frozen coaster.
Yeah, I want the trolls. I didn't get to see them because I was too scared as a kid, and now I regret it so much. But yeah, no, it was more so just like the Disneyland announcements tacked on with stuff that might happen one day for Disney World. But also I feel like so many of these developments are halted because they had to stop everything for almost a year to a year and a half. So, I mean, forgivable. Had there not been a pandemonium year and a bit, then I feel like we might have actually had an announcement for a 5th park. No, what am I saying? There's not going to be a 5th park ever in our lifetime, but still, I think we would have had more concrete announcements.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like they put out those things of like, oh, this is what we're thinking of doing, because they were like, we have literally nothing except like what we know is happening already and what everyone already knows is happening, so we need to give them a little something.
Yeah, no, and like they're playing catch up. They're catching up to being set back by however long they were set back by, not even just in terms of scheduling, but also financially. I think they have to pull together the resources. Well, then again, we have Genie Plus getting them more money now. So who knows? Who knows? Like, there was nothing super exciting that came out of today's park announcements, much like I was expecting. I mean, I was hoping that there'd be something super fun. Like, I was so excited for the stuff that they announced in 2019, like the Mary Poppins land alongside.
They did release something about it on the first day that they are redoing the gardens.
Okay.
The England Garlands, and it's going to be our gardens, and it's going to be something Mary Poppins themed.
I think that's our consolation prize for not getting the really cool attraction that they were teasing. Now we get a garden.
Yay!
Like, you don't get a fun walk-through attraction.
There, but
yeah. They're probably just going to plant like red and white flowers. They're going to have the garden Disney bounding as Mary in her jolly holiday dress. That's my guess. Anyway, out of all these announcements, Morgan, which one excites you the most?
I don't even probably the retheming of Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Even though I don't agree with it, with what they're picking, I think that excites me the most because I feel like Animal Kingdom needs a lot of love.
Well said. Well said. No, I think mine is, I have to go with Mando, and not even just Mando specifically, and Mando and Grogu, but just what they represent for giving all the time and attention to further developing character experiences, because character interactions are my favorite thing in the parks. It does make me sad to hear that Disney World doesn't have all of them back yet, but I'm hoping that if they are investing in developing new character encounters, that hopefully that means they'll start bringing back the old ones as well, or if not the old ones specifically, just will have the same number of character encounters, because I think that's the difference for me between Disney and a bunch of other parks, because I love the theatricality of getting to meet and interact with people.
I think
so much fun.
Honestly, it's just I also think it's because it's so hot, so you can't have like Chip and Dale out there in their dino outfits when it's like 100 degrees. Like, it's just not gonna work. And then I think it's also a staffing issue that I'm hoping gets fixed soon.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole world has staffing issues right now.
Because we are supposed to be getting a Mirabelle meet and greet very soon. And I think next week, a lot of the dining, I think all the dining, character dining is back next week.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
We're moving in the right direction.
We're moving in the right direction.
I like it.
I think that's what their main goal was to get character dining back, and then they're going to focus on getting the rest back.
Nice. Well, that makes me happy. Hopefully I can get to the parks at some point, but you know what? This is just making me feel better about not going anytime soon, because whenever I get there, the cool stuff will be ready for me. Hashtag Tron 2028.
Don't even say that.
It's going to happen. We know it.
At this point, you might as well wait till Tiana's Bayou Adventure is open.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see together.
We finally got the backstory.
It wasn't even much of a backstory. I think we all could have guessed that that's what it was about. She needs an ingredient to cook something.
Well, it is after, but it did say it takes place after their whole story.
The movie.
So she's not going to be in frog form, basically.
No, but we knew that already. They announced that.
Some people were it was still a little up in the air in the Disney community. Some people were like, "Oh, she'll be in frog form," and other people were like, "No, she's not."
No, when it comes to, again, Disney fans hear what they want to hear, especially when it comes to the Tiana ride, where they think like one post on a YouTube video saying, "No, keep Splash Mountain, we'll do anything." Like,
they're not keeping Splash Mountain.
Disney fans are the worst.
Going goodbye, and we're gonna be okay.
We're gonna be more than okay, because Tiana's getting a ride. Woo!
And a restaurant in Disneyland.
Yeah, and I feel like restaurant in Disneyland is one step towards it happening in Disney World as well.
I know. I was really hoping. I'm like, why can't we have it in Disney World?
I'm sure it's
I'd rather have Tiana's than Pecos Bill's.
How dare you? I love Pecos Bills. There's room
I
for
mean,
both.
I like it too, but over Tiana.
There's room for both. There's room for both. That whole area, the Splash Mountain Q area, there's so much space back there that
I
they can
know.
build.
So that makes me think that if they're going to expand behind Big Thunder Mountain, they're going to need a restaurant there.
Yeah, Tiana's Palace. I always thought it was Place, but no, Tiana's Palace. At the very least, I think they need like a temporary beignet stand, like a Tiana beignet stand, because I don't like how in Disney World you have to go to a resort to get a beignet. I've yet to do it because it's so inconvenient, but I want a beignet. Anyway, there we go. Those are some of the most important announcements that came out today, but also like there weren't any groundbreaking announcements that came out today. So whatever. Yeah, Morgan, anything additional that you'd like to add? Anything that we didn't touch on that you want to briefly talk about before we wrap things up for tonight?
Disneyland is getting Run Disney back for the first time since 2017.
And they're getting Magic Happens back. Yeah. And that parade that everyone loves that ran for like 5 days.
I don't know that parade, so I don't know.
It's a big deal to Disneylanders. So good for them.
It looks fun. I wish we got it.
See, I was
a nighttime parade.
I mean, I know everyone hates Main Street Electrical, but I still love it. So if they were to send it over to Magic Kingdom, I wouldn't complain.
I mean, that's what everyone wants. That's what everyone was expecting out of this. A lot of people were expecting them to announce that was coming to Disneyland or Disney
World. Yeah. But alas, so many things we thought were going to be announced were not.
I think it rains too much here for the Main Street Electrical parade.
No, but they had it for years and the rain wasn't an issue then.
I don't know. I don't know what the issue is.
Like it baffles me that so many things that are so simple they didn't acknowledge or give dates for. Like Fantasmic, when is it opening? We know it's opening. When?
Yeah, what's it going to be about? Because it's going to have a new theming too.
Wow.
It has new scenes.
We wouldn't know that based on the presentation today. So overall, I do feel like I like some of the announcements we got today. I think by far day one had the most exciting announcements. It had the most surprises. Mm-hmm. It had the most definite concrete dates for us to look forward to. But
I
again,
really liked day two, the Marvel, because
it
gave me more, even though I knew everything that they talked about was happening. Like I didn't know what Secret Invasion was or what it was about. I was like, whatever that's about. And I had no intention of watching it, but now that I know what it's about, I'm like, oh my God, it's basically Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yes.
So I'm super excited about all the Marvel stuff that's coming, and I would be more excited about the characters. Like Mando would have been my number one if they said he was coming to Walt Disney World.
Yes, but you have Galactic Star Cruiser
that I need to pay $4,000 to
go on.
To be taken into a weird van to be transported from where I park my car into there.
It's not a weird van, it's a spaceship.
No, you're transported in a box truck.
It's a spaceship, Morgan. It's a spaceship.
Is that what they call it?
Yes, it's like a shuttle ship. Or like a tender. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, like in universe, they don't just stop the theming to say, "Hey guys, load into this unmarked van."
You get into the box truck, you're still in the real world. So I figured it was just a truck.
No. The truck is themed. The truck is themed to be a spaceship.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you just got a box truck. I was like I'm being kidnapped. Like, let's go.
Can you imagine if that was the case? If they put all of this time and effort into theming your experience on the Halcyon, and then they're just like, guys, just bear with us. Put on your reality goggles for a second. Just get into the unmarked van. Trust us.
Well, when my one friend, her husband works for Disney, and so he entered in a lottery system to get to go on early, like before even press day went on. And so it was like cast member previews. And so he got to go on, and they said that truck was not themed. They said it was a box truck.
No, like all the videos I've watched, it's very themed. and like the entry and exit point, it's
I knew
continuing
the
the
entry
illusion.
and stuff like that. I knew that
Yeah.
stuff was themed, but I hadn't watched the box.
The box
truck.
truck footage. Okay. Well, anyway, I think this is a good time to wrap it up.
Yes.
Hooray. So overall, D23 2022. I think I give it a 7.5 for announcements.
Yeah, I feel like they had no choice but to announce things prior.
Hmm.
And I think it took away from D23 because they had to cancel it. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people hyped it up a lot more than it was. But I think now that they've had this D23,
Mhm.
that the next one will be like what it used to be.
Yeah. Like I'm just excited that it came back. I hope I get to go to the next one, which is what I say every single year that it happens. I'm curious to see if they keep it on this biannual schedule or if they go back to the even numbered years. No, wait, sorry. If they go
Odd.
back to the odd numbered years, yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Because if so, then it either means that we get one again next year or we have to wait 3 years. So
Yeah.
we'll find
I'm
out
hoping
together.
not.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Anyway. Yay! Oh my gosh, it's almost 1 a.m. Yay, it was still a midnight show. Woot. Okay, Morgan, anything you want to say before we wrap up? Closing thoughts? Where'd my Diet Coke go? There it is.
Keep coming to Walt Disney World. I promise it is fun, even though they don't care about us.
Well said.
I may be moving to California. Well, who knows?
Just for this. Hold on. Just for
Just for that, just for Scarlet Witch, for all the Avengers campus.
Avengers Campus looks so good. All of it. Anyway, happy for Disneyland. They're getting all the cool stuff. Disney World, you keep doing you.
Yeah.
There it is. Anyway, hooray, D23. Good times. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Morgan, anything you want to say about your channel or upcoming projects before we wrap things up and before we go away?
Yeah, definitely follow me on my channel. It's called Teaching Disney. I'm going to be doing a brand new live stream series in addition to my once a month teaching live stream series. I'm going to be doing a weekly live stream series where I recap the Dancing with the Stars, which is live on Disney Plus.
Yes.
So if you like Dancing with the Stars, come on over to my channel.
Brilliant.
It's going to be a fun time.
That sounds delightful. Well, excited for you for that. Yeah, watch my channel. Weekly live streams here as well based around movies. This week, we're talking about the BFG. Also this week, I'm doing a trivia night. I can't remember when. Wednesday. I'm doing so many live streams in the space of a week. Oh my gosh, so much. But yeah.
Matt, you're doing a trivia night? I didn't know this.
What? Weren't you invited to the Facebook event?
No.
Oh, I made it really late at night. I probably wasn't paying attention. Yeah. It's Wednesday. It's D23 themed. Yes.
I'm gonna come.
Please do. Come play. I don't think very many people are able to make it. So give me some numbers because these trivia nights are so much work. So
oh my gosh. You know me. I'm
play.
so competitive.
Yes. It's all D23 themed. It'll be so much fun. So yeah, trivia night this Wednesday, movie club on Thursday, and then at some point I'll get part 2 of my Wizard of Oz theme parks history video out. I'm still writing it. It'll be worth the wait for those who care about those 2 things. Anyway, hooray. This is the end of the live stream. Thank you everyone for joining us for 3 nights of Midnight Madness in a row celebrating D23. My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. This has been the Teacup for One. Thank you. How do I end this?